Alright guys, so I already talked about 5 NFL teams that I think will surprise people beyond expectations in 2022, but now I think it's time to talk about 5 teams that might not live up to expectations. So I'm gonna start with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the obvious reason is because obviously Tyreek Hill, one of the most explosive players and one of the best deep threats you will ever see, is gone. I mean, in fairness, the Chiefs did try to replace Tyreek Hill by adding Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 2 solid receivers, but let's be honest, none of these guys are even close to as good as Tyreek Hill. So despite having the legendary Patrick Mahomes, it only makes sense that the Chiefs aren't quite as dominant as they've been the last few years, but I fully expect them to still contend, be a playoff team, but I wouldn't guarantee that they win their division or are a number 1 or top 2 seed in the AFC. Then we have the New England Patriots, a team that I personally think will disappoint only because I don't believe that they really got better in any way. They made no splashes in free agency. A lot of people would agree they probably had the worst draft of any team, and I don't know if Mac Jones has much more of a ceiling to reach. I think he's a very safe floor of a quarterback, but I don't know if he has what it takes to take a giant step forward and be a superstar. I mean, obviously the Pats have Bill Belichick, maybe the greatest coach of all time, so never sleep on them to be a good team, but in a loaded AFC, I'm not convinced they're good enough to make a big leap forward or contend for a Super Bowl. My third disappointing team is going to be the Tennessee Titans. I mean, this was the number 1 seed in the AFC, and I would frankly be shocked if they're back there again because they traded A.J. Brown, one of the best receivers in the league. And Ryan Tannehill did get exposed a little bit, in my opinion, in that playoff game. Obviously, Derrick Henry's going to be back. I think they're going to be a good team, especially in a weak division. But I think the Colts are slightly better than them. I definitely don't think they'll be a 1 seed in the AFC, and I don't think they're going to win their division. I have the Packers on here for the same obvious reason that I have the Chiefs. They gave up their number 1 receiver, one of the best receivers in the league, except in this case, Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league. Obviously, he wanted out, and I would never bet against Aaron Rodgers to make this team competitive, but being the number 1 seed in the NFC without the best receiver of this generation, arguably, I don't know about that. And last but not least, I gotta go with the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Now, one reason I have them here is because the winner of the NFC East, or should I say NFC Least, basically changes every year. The favorite coming into that year, which is usually the team that won the division the year before, like the Cowboys, for some reason has a bad year, like the Cowboys have had many times before. They'll have a playoff season, then regress. Maybe they won't this year. Maybe Dak Prescott will be great. But the Cowboys, I don't know. There's always the chance they follow the NFC East formula with a new winner every year. They also lost Amari Cooper. I'm convinced Zeke's the most overpaid player in the league, so we'll see, but who knows with this division. Alright guys, definitely make sure to comment your opinions on what NFL teams you think will not live up to expectations this upcoming season.